Let's do it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Trip Smoke Pit. Tonight, I got my Twitter buddy and fellow author, Shirley Johnson, on after a little bit of bugs. Bugs, we'll call them. What's going on tonight, Shirley?
Oh, my goodness. That was crazy. Hey, look what I got in honor of you.
Hey, what right shoulder? Yeah, lock the doors. We're drinking Coors. We're both wearing jean jackets. It's like, hey, what's up?
I always wear a jean jacket.
Oh, well, hey, me too.
I don't have any patches, though.
After we're done, DM me an address. I'll send you a Smoke Pit Fairy Tales patch.
Sweet. So what's new, man?
Oh, all kinds of shit. I just bought this video game that I'm really mad about. Like, on top of the game kind of sucking, it's not really a game. It's just more like a movie that every once in a while you say go left or right, and then it goes into a bunch of cutscenes. But the plot is almost exactly a chapter out of my first book, and it's like, I don't know if I have a foot to stand on about suing you guys about this.
Yeah.
But I do have a big foot to stand on about like bitching about it on the internet for clout.
So do you copyright your work?
Yes, or yep. Yeah. That's something else that bothers me about the indie author community, because it's like, oh, hey, cool, fucking whatever. Let me go in the back. You didn't list. Hey, did you copyright this? No. Well, no one's gonna read it. It's like, dude, you need to do that. It's like $50 fucking, and you wait like a month or three, depending on when you do it.
I always copyright my work, and people are like, you don't need to copyright that. I'm like,
wrong.
I always copyright my work, and I copyright the art.
Mm-hmm.
On the, my husband usually does the art for me for all my covers. But my next book, Bleacher Girl, somebody from Twitter is doing my cover for me.
Nice.
And his handle is Sapper Spy, is his handle, if I'm saying that right. And he's making the cover for me for Bleacher Girl, which will probably get me kicked out of my family and probably get fired. And it's a book that I started writing in January on a whim.
Was this the one that's not about the Rolling Stones?
Right. It's not about the Rolling Stones. It takes place in 1987, and it's told from the point of view of a 17-year-old guy named Mike. His name is Mike Kilo, or Kilo. I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. You get to choose that when you read that. His name's Mike. He's 17. He has moved out on his own because his parents are alcoholics and they abuse him. And he reminisces on past cars and past women as he dates this girl that everybody calls Bleacher Girl, because she fell 44 feet through the bleachers during the homecoming game, and she lived. And she is just kind of in her own world. She's kind of spacey, and she's very innocent. And we only see her through Mike, and she's like the most beautiful girl, of course, in the world. In a world of, like a time when women have really big hair. Her hair is just really long and straight, and she's just kind of her own thing. So I just started writing it for kicks. Didn't think anybody would ever read it.
Well, I mean, isn't that like how most of these books start off? It's like, nobody's going to read this shit. And then like somebody does, and you're like, oh, fuck, now I got to write 2 of them.
Well, I was like, I don't want anybody to read this. When I started writing it, I'm like, this is for me.
Yeah.
This is 1987. It's a time when I was 16 years old in 1987. And I'm like, this is just going to be for me. And then I started posting little screenshots of it on Twitter, and all these dudes started reading it. Because it's told through a 17-year-old boy, and he's kind of crude. He's really horny, and he's like, I don't know. He's more man at 17 than many men are now at 27. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, different times,
Yeah, different times. And it's to show the different times.
Yeah.
Completely different back then. I don't know. But yeah, so dudes started reading it, Trip, and then they started sending me DMs on Twitter. And they're like, let me tell you my 1987 story. And they started sharing all these stories of growing up. So it's pretty cool.
Just reminiscing about the 80s. Are you swiping some of that? Like, oh, that's cool. Jeff, your name's Bob now.
No, these guys are like, you want to hear something really good from the 1980s? You want to hear a really good coming of age story? And they tell me their story. And I might take some of it because I'm not 17 and I'm not a man.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking as though, the story is told through a 17-year-old dude.
Right. But a good author should do their research, and like,
right.
dude, if the research is coming to you.
I know. So I owe a lot to the men of Twitter.
Yeah.
I owe a lot because they've stepped up. So it's been cool.
That's really cool that they're doing that, though.
Yeah, it's very cool. Twitter's a strange place, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, I'm not like all over Twitter. Like, I don't have a huge fan base there, but I also kind of forget it exists. And then like every once in a while, I get a notification like, oh shit, I should probably be on that app more.
You do TikToks.
Yeah. I'm making a decent amount of headway there, but that's also that general. I'm also a little bit too old to be over there, apparently. But like,
what's the age limit?
There isn't, but like it's weird because it's very algorithm based, and in a good way, more so than like Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, as to where like, how like if you're not on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter for a long time, they'll start sending you like messages about like how like, hey, this person posted this, and it's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
To get you back on it.
Like, who's that?
Yeah, TikTok does the exact opposite, where like if they notice you haven't been on the app, they start showing your stuff to more people, so that they engage in your content to help bring you back. So it's like, yeah, no, like one of the tricks a lot of people do over there is if you have something like really big, like say I got a new book out, or I'm doing something and I want everybody to hear about it, is like make a post about it and then like delete the app off your phone. Like not, like delete yourself or profile or anything. Yeah. Go open it, come back a week later, and then they'll be like, or the algorithm will be like, you're not on this. You're not engaging. Everybody show everybody this video so that people click on it and like it or comment or whatever, and then that'll bring them back in.
How did you figure that out?
Somebody else told me about it. And then I was like,
now you're passing the wisdom on to me.
Yeah, dude, hey, listen, that's what it's about. It's about sharing
the wisdom,
sharing the secrets of the trade live on the internet.
Your videos are funny though.
Thank you.
And they got a lot of energy to them.
Yeah.
So do you have to edit that, or does it just fall together?
I used to have to sit down and edit them, but more recently I've just been using TikTok to make the videos because it's got it's only video on there, so it's set up to be able to edit it easily inside the app.
Because I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
Yeah, they also make it stupid easy. Like they want you to use it, and I think it's funny because everybody's like, well, it's if you do that, the Chinese are going to steal your information, and it's like, I mean, it's
the Chinese have it already.
A, the Chinese have it already, but B, that's what they're doing on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. It's just different people stealing your shit.
It's just instead of Chinese, it's people like Mark Zuckerberg, like aliens or whatever.
I don't think it's anything nefarious. They just want more money out of you, and it's like, if you're doing the same thing, who cares?
Who cares? You can see my dollhouse behind me. Oh no.
Yeah, and my shit looks like ass. So I mean, I should probably build a little studio for this. I just fucking haven't.
I like it. It looks good. It looks like WKRP back there.
What is it?
Like you're on the radio.
Oh,
like you're on the radio.
Oh no, I got an old
it's
fucking what the goddamn.
It's not records.
Yeah, and it's also got radio and a tape player and a 8-track player in it, but the turntable's fucking busted, so it's like, man, I'm not gonna bother fixing it. I'll just use the other one.
Cool. I was a DJ for 6 or 7 years.
Really? Where at?
Yeah, at Western Illinois University, WIU.
What kind of stuff did you guys broadcast?
So it was college radio, and back then, so I started in '89. And so college radio back then was what they called alternative radio. Mm-hmm. So back then it was like Nirvana just come out. Sonic Youth was getting huge. Susie and the Banshees, The Cure, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Hello Slovak had just OD'd from heroin and died, and they replaced him with John Frusciante. Yeah. And, they were getting huge with Higher Ground and Mother's Milk album and stuff like that. And so I walked over there with my roommate, and she wanted to be a DJ. And I did not want to be a DJ. I was political science major and Russian minor. I walked over there with her, and I was wearing an Echo and the Bunnymen t-shirt and had a weird haircut and some Doc Martens on, and they're like, what kind of music do you listen to? And I'm like, The Smiths, The Cure, Echo and the Bunnymen, The Thrill Cult, Ministry, I just named a million things.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you want to be a DJ? And I'm like, well, I'm not communications major. And they're like, so what? You're on the air. So I got a show 2 afternoons a week, and they immediately made me program director where I was writing the playlist. And then they gave me a night show from 9 at night till 1 in the morning.
So, since you were on the radio and a political science major and doing Russian, did you like start doing the Manchurian Candidate type stuff? Like, hey everybody, welcome to the next hour of
No, and I did get a talent grant to be a political news reporter for the NPR affiliate of the college station, which was WIUM, and I had to say things like, coming up next on All Things Considered with Linda Wertheimer, we'll be discussing Bosnia-Herzegovina. but they censored me a lot, which I can't imagine why.
Well, NPR is weird because, like, besides their blatant political leaning, like, they're really good at like everything else. Like, they're like they're like media reviews, not like media, but like they're like movie book review stuff are always pretty solid. Like, I love the Tiny Desk concert thing. Like, I think that's their only thing I'm subscribed to on YouTube. But it's like, oh, dude, who are these people? This is awesome.
Tiny Desk is awesome.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Tiny Desk?
Yeah.
I
think that's what they're called, right?
Yeah, that's been around a while.
Yeah, and you find people on there that you'd never find otherwise,
Yeah, and you're like, who's that?
Yeah, it's like I don't want to listen to like pygmy friggin' like desk drummer violinist people. Oh wait, no, maybe I do. Okay, all right. What's up, guys? How you doing?
They edit it and produce it. So when I did NPR, I was a political news reporter in a small town where there's no political news. So my thing was state police would call me and give me stories from the state police blotter or whatever it is, and I would edit them with sound bites and make a story. And we would be sitting like 6 of us around a huge table, headphones on, the mic, and everything is timed to the second. They're like, your story you have
that makes sense, yeah.
1 minute and 33 seconds to do your story. Go. And then there's a guy pointing at you and then pointing at the next one. And it's like, it's timed perfectly. And that chimes right in with Washington's broadcast. We would switch to Washington, D.C.
And would you guys pre-record that back then, or?
Oh, it was live.
Oh, nice. Even better.
So you had a producer and a director, and they were like, and you would go. It was intense. No, I only did that a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's still a cool experience, though. Like,
yeah, it was really cool.
A lot of people do that.
Radio was cool though at night because, like, I was in this building in the middle of campus, just me. Middle of night. There's nobody in the building, and I'm absolutely jamming in there. I'm playing like Black Flag, and I'm moshing my ass off by myself.
Love you, Henry Hines.
You got to kick out the jams, and I'm just in there jamming, and the custodian comes in. And I like almost like kick in. I'm like moshing it. Like, oh shit! And when people would call the station, the phone doesn't ring. This light lights up, and the light would start lighting it up. And you pick it up, and they're like, "Can you play some My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult?" And I'm like, "No," or whatever. But yeah, it was a trip. People would be like, "I want to meet you. I'm going to meet you in the parking lot." And so then you have to have security like walk you out to your car.
Have a gun? No.
Not yet. Not when I was 18. I was not allowed to have a gun at campus. Yeah. Oh my God.
Did they have pepper spray back then? I mean, I'm sure they had something.
I always carried a knife, so or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, things weren't crazy back then like they are now. I mean,
looking at stuff though, I don't really know if things are actually any crazier than they were, or if the media has just enticed things to be crazier. Because like you hear all this crazy shit, but then you like get off the internet and go outside, and you're like, all right,
it's not happening.
Where's this fire that's supposed to be burning the world down?
Yeah,
I'm not seeing it, man.
Exactly. It's like I always set a good like measurement of what's really going on in the world. I come from Decatur, Illinois. It's in the middle of Illinois. And there's these restaurants there that are called Crackles. Okay.
Okay.
It's a hamburger stand started up by Mr. Crackle. He's
Okay, all
long
right.
gone.
That's like the company name. I thought that was like the slang term for it. I was like,
no, it's
man,
called
explain
Crackles.
that to me.
And so Crackles, the first one that I know of was on Wood Street. And it's a rough neighborhood, and it's where I went to middle school at. And every day we would walk from the middle school to Crackles. You walk up to it, you get your hamburger and your shake and fries, and you walk away and eat. It's in a bad neighborhood, but I still go there when I go home. And you go to Wood Street Crackles and see what is really happening in the world. And it's like there's poor people and rich people and black people and white people and immigrants and rich bankers, and everybody is getting a Crackles and eating it by the street. So
Yeah,
we're not that divided.
We're really going to hell. I mean, everybody's sharing a fucking cheeseburger still. So
it's like I don't think we hate each other as much as everybody wants us to.
No, I don't either. And the other thing though too is like it's also like really easy to judge people like off of like a comment like on the internet where somebody says something stupid in like 3 sentences, but like if you knew that person in real life, that issue probably would not have ever fucking came up, and they might be cool. I mean, they still might be a douchebag, but they might just be somebody cool.
I mean, you can't read context in that little little comment. And maybe somebody's busy. Maybe they're like typing while they're driving on the expressway, like lol, right, sure, I mean, who knows?
Yeah, no, and then you want to double down on something. So like if you just out of I don't know, for the sake of example, like you meant to say like Kris Kringle's friggin' I don't know, sewing yarn is shit, and it mistyped that into like Santa Claus eats ass, and you're like, and like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're an asshole. And then like you read that and you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna like fix my shit. No, fuck you, guy.
I can't remember the last time I got in a Twitter fight or a Facebook fight. I cannot remember. I mean, I've had people like try to troll me on Twitter, and I answer them with like Princess Bride lines, or whatever I'm thinking of at the moment, music lyrics.
I got into a pretty heated one the other day. Well, they were heated. I was having fun. Somebody said something about one of my buddies on there. It's kind of weird. So he's like super left wing, but he's also like super Orthodox Christian, like good dude. But like, I'm gonna follow you just because.
I've got some friends like that. Like I have a friend that's super, super, super gay, and he's very, 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 very Catholic.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't even remember what the original fucking post was, but I wrote down something to the effect of the Romans killed Christ, and to punish them, God turned them all into Italians. And then like everyone got pissed off at me, like, dude, that's racist. I'm like, what? I thought Italians were white now. Like, are they like fair bait, or are they fucking not? Shut the fuck up.
You cannot say anything against Catholics. They will kill you.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, they're up there. They're not as bad as Scientologists, who apparently have like infiltrated the fucking government and like stolen shit from the fucking Pentagon. I think it was I think it was like in the 90s.
Oh, I like this. John Travolta, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but they had people that like went and just got like base level entry bullshit fucking like government jobs and just hung out until they were in powers of position. And it was like, all right, so we're gonna start stealing information from the Pentagon and the White House and the fucking.
What did they do with it? Anything good?
No, I don't think they got anything good, because like all the good shit's at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio and Area 51, but
they weren't clear. They weren't clear enough. They couldn't get it.
Yeah, but like it's a really fucking interesting story. Fucking, I don't remember all the specifics. It's been a while since I read up about it, but like that's something to Google in your off time.
There's some weird stuff like the people of Hobby Lobby stealing Christian relics to protect them from the Taliban. Remember that?
Yeah. And
What's that all about?
That's one of those things where it's like I'm kind of mixed on, because it's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be stealing that shit. On the other hand, like
they're protecting it from being destroyed.
Yeah, so
you think like the Hobby Lobby people and the Chick-fil-A people, they get together and they dress in black and they kid out with like plates in the front and plates in the back, and they're like going in and
they have this like Sumerian altar they stole from Iraq. They're like sacrificing babies on it and like afterwards.
You just said Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby are sacrificing babies.
Dude, no, they're fucking in the fucking woods right now, and they're getting ring-led by fucking Alex Jones. They're over here sacrificing babies. He's over here infiltrating and trying to figure out what's going on with his chicken. Turns out it's not chicken, it's babies.
That guy, wow, he's a trip.
I fucking love that dude. Like
he's the energy.
Like,
I haven't watched him in a while.
Well,
I cannot watch The Pillow Man. Do you know who The Pillow Man is?
I know who he is, but like I didn't know he had anything that was watchable.
He comes out with these videos where he's like screaming, and I'm like, that's coke throat. You've done too much coke.
Why do you think the pillows are white, man?
I'm like, why are we listening to Pillow Man? Why is he at the White House? Like a couple of years ago, he's at the White House.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't
with Trump, and I'm like,
understand that.
Like, why? What are we doing?
Like, maybe it's just because like Trump would like have people around who would just like be yes men to him.
I don't know. It was like one wild party or something.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, I don't know. And like one thing might be to say that that's where Trump was getting his cocaine, but like we know that Trump's a fucking pretty strict teetotaler. So
I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I do some reels of coke.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just a little booger sugar,
That's why he's always sniffing.
Yeah, but yeah, no, like what is it? Like Alex Jones though? Like I've never watched his show just because like I don't have like 6 hours to sit here and watch you like eat him all day. But like I love him on other people's shit. You know what I mean?
He's crazy.
Oh, yeah,
I consider myself very conservative. I'm not a Republican. I'm definitely not a Democrat. I'm definitely not a libertarian because I'm too nerdy for them. I'm too straight or something. I don't know what I am.
Well, the libertarians are weird because there's no such thing as a real libertarian because you have to, they're more strict about their guidelines than like.
But yet they're really free.
Yeah.
They're really strict, but really free. So I don't get that.
Which one is it, pal?
But see, I'm really conservative, but I can make fun of Alex Jones and I can make fun of Trump and Pillow Man. Yeah. Pillow Man scares the hell out of me. He's got to go in a book.
He's got a creepy smile, though. I mean, that and a mustache. Like, you don't have a fucking mustache. Like, unless you're a cop or in the military and like you're not allowed to have like real person facial hair. Don't have a fucking mustache. I mean,
I like the mustache.
Well, I mean, you get like a curly one or like, like maybe mutton chops or like the handlebar, but like
he's got the
don't just do like the fucking like glorified Hitler stash. It looks weird.
It catches the coke.
Save it there for later.
Maybe his wife likes it.
that could be a thing.
I don't know, but he scares the hell out of me. It's like, calm down. If you want us to listen to anything you're saying, your voice is like Carrie Fisher in the last Star Wars. I'm like,
well, fucking another one. Do you remember Billy Mays?
Yes,
dude, I miss that guy so much. Billy Mays here.
99. Act now. He was like on some serious drugs. I don't even know what he was on.
Didn't he have a cocaine overdose on a fucking airplane? It's like, dude, you fucking rock star.
And I drink like my one Coors and my little bit of whiskey, and I'm lit.
What kind of whiskey you got?
I've got, and I don't know much about whiskey, but here I'll do an advertisement.
Bullet bourbon?
What is that called?
Bullet bourbon?
Yeah. It tastes good, and they call it the beginner's bourbon because it tastes like something Harry Potter would drink. It's like buttery and fiery. I don't know.
Huh? Yeah, no, I don't like any Harry Potter like food stuff because like there was one time they did a thing with the jelly beans, and it was like, oh hey, have some jelly beans. I'm like, all right, cool, candy. I'm fat. I like candy. And then it's like, all right, so this one's booger flavored. Yep, that tastes like a booger.
Cat puke flavored.
Dog shit. I don't know why that tastes like dog shit. I don't know why I can confirm that tastes like dog shit. That's dog. Why did I buy this?
Yeah. I mean, Harry Potter came and went. It was good. We took the kids to Harry Potter Land. It was all good.
I wasn't a big fan of like the fucking books and movies or anything, but the Harry Potter the Universal Studios.
Yeah,
that's a really cool thing.
I almost caught on fire there.
What?
I think I could have had a lawsuit.
What?
So we went to Harry Potter Land. We took the kids. This was probably 8 years ago. Okay. And I wore a hippie skirt. Okay. That's just me. Hippie skirt. Yeah. Get on this ride where you fly through Hogwarts or whatever. And this dragon comes up and goes, and blast me right between my legs, right? While I'm flying on this thing sideways.
Was it the one where you're strapped in by the shoulders and you're
yes, and your legs are like dangling on a ski ride or whatever. Yeah. And he like blasted me, and my skirt almost went aflame. I think because my skirt came from Walmart, it was not flammable. I don't know. It was not made out of real natural materials. But I had blisters going from my feet up to like between my legs. Blisters from that thing. I'm like, I could sue Harry Potter. And my husband's like, oh, Shirley, it's your own fault. You know?
For getting on the fucking ride? Like, who
wears a skirt? I'm like, I could have had on Hooters shorts and the same thing would have happened. So,
which that's another fucking funny thing. I don't know if you've seen that. Like, apparently Hooters has new shorts and everybody's pissed off about it. And it's like,
I saw the headline.
Like it might be deeper than that. I didn't like read up on it. It was like,
I saw the headline.
Okay, all right. You're mad about Hooters shorts. Cool.
The girls that worked there were mad. And I pictured them pulling their shorts on over their tan, thick pantyhose and going, my shorts are too short. You know, I just pictured that. It's like, you're already wearing white socks from 1985 and some Reebok tennis shoes. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Put them on and shush.
And then like, I never went to Hooters a lot. Like, I don't think their wings are good.
Yeah. I went, we used to have one real close to our house here, and we went, I probably for my husband, he's probably like going to beat me after saying that. I'm not sure why we went. Our kids were little, and I was like, the wings are not that good, and the Hooters are not that good either. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to give it a 4.
Well, I mean, see, that's the thing though. And or at least this is my thought process on it. So Hooters, right? Like, it's named after boobs, but we're only going to hire like 19 to like 23-year-old, like really skinny chicks who don't have boobs.
Well, see, okay, my roommate's going to kill me, but she'll also be happy if she watches this that I'm saying this. When I was like 22, my roommate, she was 5'2" like me, small built, really busty. Went to Hooters and applied for a job. They said no. And she had really big boobs.
Like,
and she was like probably 25-inch waist and giant boobs and short. She had real dark, like Cleopatra hair, and her eyes are like naturally violet, like Elizabeth Taylor. She looks like Liz Taylor, like a young Liz Taylor, and giant boobs. Beautiful, exotic. Nope, only blondes. They only hire blondes. Lawsuit right up there with the Harry Potter fire.
Yeah, no, I mean, that hasn't been, I haven't noticed that about Hooters, but I mean, that might have been
nobody's looking at the hair, they're looking at the boobs, but I think they only hire blondes. Ours closed, and now it provides a shuttle service to the marijuana store that's across the street that has the marijuana store.
Yeah, like I don't do any of that just because like I have a very negative reaction to it. Like, I'm all for it being fucking legalized or whatever, but like I'm glad that we're at that point in society now where it's
tax revenue.
They're just sending you a fucking
Uber. I don't do it because I have a concealed carry license, and if you have a concealed carry license, you cannot imbibe in the purchased marijuana in Illinois.
See, we have something similar to that. I just wouldn't go get the card because the government doesn't need to fucking know about it. But depending on which strain it is, I either go immediately to sleep, which I guess is cool, but like at the same time, like the only time it's at a fucking party. So, hey, you want a party? Yeah, bye. You know, or I get super paranoid to the point to where it's like the shadow and the reflection in the mirror is gonna fucking kill me, and I have to hide. And there's like no middle ground.
That's a bad trip, man.
Yeah,
I think marijuana has changed a lot. Are you like 30 years old? If
I'm the Christ age right now.
Oh yeah, 33. The highest masonry number you can go.
Yay me!
I'm 50, so I think when I was younger, pot was a lot different. And the rich kids would go to Jamaica on vacation, and they would come back with a ton of Blue Mountain coffee and a bunch of Sinsemilla pot. And nobody ever got checked at customs, ever.
Yeah.
And that was like the really, really crazy hardcore pot. And then the other pot people just grew, and you just get buzzed and get high. But now they say pot is like strong and freaky.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with how you ingest it too, because like I got a what is it, dabbing now, where like you don't actually use like weed, it's like the syrup paste byproduct shit, where it's just syrup THC, and you like burn that with a blowtorch and like suck in the fumes, and it's like, what happened to spliffs and joints, dude?
Yeah, I think I said something on Tumblr a few years ago about blazing a J, and somebody's like, "How old are you, Jesus?" And I'm like, "I'm old."
Well, I think it like I'm going to use alcohol terms in this, but I'm going to talk about weed. But like I think people stopped getting buzzed and went straight from sober to fuck me up.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, well, dude, what happened to just like, you know, getting a little bit
high and listen to Pink Floyd and cooking that cookie tube?
Yeah. Shit.
Like my husband and I went and saw Roger Waters for The Wall at Wrigley Field. Okay. And this was in what, 2012, I think it was. And we were in the 22nd row on the field at Wrigley. And we were the youngest people there. Everybody around us was 70 and up. And they had doobies, like blunts, you know, that were cigar doobies. And the people in front of us were passing them back and forth, left and then behind us and all around us, just smoking huge doobies just everywhere. And my husband and I, holy cow, I'm drinking like a Bud Light. These people are burning through like $500 worth of pot.
I'm an adult.
Yeah.
No. Speaking of older, though, thanks for being a good sport on that. Like, I was probably a month or two ago now, but I had my friend Michelle on, and I love her to death. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say if she's a little bit older, but anyway, we were talking about some stuff, and she says, "Hey, do you remember when Terminator came out? Like, I remember when Terminator came out. I went to go see it in the theater and thought this and that, whatever." And I'm like, that came out like 4 years before I was born. She's like, "Okay, let's do some small talk."
Terminator come out like in 84?
Yeah, and I was like, I gotta, and then she was like, I gotta go. Bye. And she sent me a text later. I'm like, I'm old. Boo. I'm like,
I'm 50. I'll be 51 in December. I don't care. I don't care. It's all good, man.
She's great. Other author buddy, I'm gonna give her a shout out. Go read the Aesop stories. But
I mean, we went to Roger Waters, and Craig and I, you know, I think I was 41 at the time, and everybody there was 70 and up. And then an intermission, it was a kick-ass show, man, and being that close to the wall. And we went to go to the bathroom at intermission, and this guy is like, smoking doobies over here, beer over there, ladies' room there. And they were just cool with everybody smoking pot. And then some young guy came down on the field, and he grabbed the famous Wrigley Field ivy that grows on the wall where the Cubs play. And the security just bagged him and tagged him and took him out, man. You do not touch the ivy at Wrigley.
There are no rules. Don't touch the ivy. There's one rule.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Speaking of that, do you know what Pink Floyd and Dale Earnhardt have in common?
What's that? They're both.
It Was the Wall.
My first book that I wrote takes place in 1968, and I wrote to Roger Waters a snail mail letter.
Yeah.
And I said, can I use like 4 or 5 songs for Pink Floyd in my book, I Heart Ed Small? And I also gave him my email. And so then he emailed me, and he said, what's your book about? And I told him a little brief synopsis, and he says, yeah, that sounds good. You can use those songs. And he's like, that sounds like something my wife might like to read. And then like right after that, his wife divorced him.
Whoop.
And then I wrote him again. And he sent me an autographed photo. And then I wrote him again, and I said, hey, my friend's birthday's coming up. She's a huge fan of Pink Floyd. Can you send her a photo? And he did. And then like when I wrote the sequel to I Heart Ed Small, I wrote Baby Small. I wrote him again, and I said, can I use some more Pink Floyd songs? I didn't even ask David Gilmour.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask him because he doesn't write back.
Yeah.
And he's like, sure. And I said, I'll make a donation to Canines for, it's a canine program for veterans that provides like, you know, service dogs for veterans. I said, I'll make a donation in your honor to Canines for Vets. And he's like, cool. He's like, yeah, go for it.
Nice.
So, you know, I don't agree with him politically, but who cares?
Well, I mean, that's the other thing too, is like fucking, if you're going to like, you know, boycott, you know, movies or music or whatever, because, you know, you don't agree politically with, you know, the people in it. It's like you have to go live under a rock.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Stephen King is always like, revolvers don't jam. He doesn't know anything about guns, and when he writes about them in his books, he sounds kind of like an idiot, and he's very anti-gun and liberal, and I don't care. I read his books.
Yeah, I'm still gonna read fucking The Shining and Misery. Actually, I'm probably not gonna read Misery again just because Misery really creeped me out. Like I could smell Annie Wilkes when I read that. Yeah. I shouldn't be able to smell a character. Like, good on Stephen King for writing that,
right?
But like, read it once, I'm good.
I think the thing that Stephen King that stuck with me, two of the things that stuck with me the most with Stephen King was he wrote a short story, and I think it's called The Man in the Black Suit. And it's about a little boy fishing, and he meets the devil. And the devil like scares the shit out of him next to this stream. And the boy takes a fish out of his creel and throws it. And the devil like grabs it with his mouth and it gives the boy time to run away and get away. That is just like a 3-page short story. It scared the hell out of me. And The Shining is scary because the ghosts aren't scary, but Jack's fall into alcoholism.
Yeah. And like, it's like fucking like psychotic behaviors. Fucking like, it's real like.
And Stephen King wrote that when he was a major alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too about like The Shining though is like it's also about like not isolationism, but like being isolated, or like a big part of the fucking horror. And that's like, hey, dude, there ain't nowhere to go. You can't leave, and you're stuck. Yeah. Although there was one of his books, I don't remember which one it was, but somebody was holding a Glock up to somebody, and then the line was very similar to show he was serious. He pulled the hammer back on the Glock, and it's
he's like, "There's no hammer on the Glock, buddy."
What? I kind of want that Glock now. Like, I'm not a Glock guy, but like, I want one with a hammer. Fuck it,
Yeah, I want a Glock with a hammer. I'll take a 1911 Glock.
Get on it, Austria.
Let's get to it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of Glocks and stuff, I have kind of become. I don't know what I've become. I'm a sponsor in the Gun Twitter Transformation, which is a 12-week fitness transformation thing to get healthier. And some people are trying to lose weight. Some people I think are trying to gain weight, because there are skinny folk out there trying to put weight on. I don't know anything about that, but.
Well, I mean, like that can be a thing. Like, some people just have like super high metabolisms.
Right.
Like, I had a couple of friends in the Marines that were just strong as fuck. Like, were lifting more than like the big jacked dudes because they did their shit with it, but like they still weighed 180 pounds.
Right.
Like if you saw them on the street, you'd be like, yeah, okay, crackhead, get the fuck away from me, But it's like, nah, dude, I'm actually taking really good care of myself. My genes just suck. I'm sorry. Fuck.
That's like my youngest son. I call him Chuz. That's his nickname. He weighs 121 pounds. He's 5'8", and he's like a bag of cable,
Yeah.
But he's strong as hell. Like absolutely a maniac. But so I'm a sponsor in this Gun Twitter Transformation. We're on like week 7. I think it's coming up on Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm going to donate the Water War episode 1 and 2 as a prize. But one of the prizes is like 1,000 rounds of ammo, private lessons with firearms, holsters, battle belts. There's good prizes. And, but I think I find myself in a lot of these gun conversations with these gun dudes because I like to shoot. And I just like put together a AR-15. I didn't put it together like springs and triggers and lift assemblies and whatever. I put the barrel onto the receiver, And
I've done that exactly once, and it's not worth it. Just buy the fucker.
No, this was just pins, boom. And then my son bought me an optic for it, a Vortex 1x6. Scope, and I leveled the gun in a vise, and then I leveled the optic on the gun, and I'm like, you've got to put Loctite in it now, because the first time you rack it, it's going to come loose and get all, but we're going to go zero it in and shoot it a couple of days here. But yeah, when you're like a gun person and you read these Stephen King books, and he's like in Road Work, he's like, I had to get a revolver because revolvers don't jam. I'm like, semi-automatics don't jam either. If you clean the fucking thing, like maybe put a little bit of lube on it. Yeah. Did you know I wore my Ruger SR9C out? It was the gun I carried all the time, took shooting all the time. Year and a half ago, started throwing light strikes. So I put a stainless steel striker rod and a new spring in it. And then it worked for like a year. And then it just now started throwing light strikes and failed to fire, So I sent it into Ruger, and they sent it back like a month later. That's pretty fast. And they replaced everything but the slide and the lower. They replaced the barrel, all the trigger assembly, the safety assembly, the striker rod assembly, the guide pin, the recoil spring, everything. I wore it out.
Nice. Friggin' I don't have any Rugers. I know a lot of people that do. And I've only ever seen like one real issue with them, and that was not necessarily the gun's fault, but put too much grain in the round during reloading thing. Like blew the it was semi-automatic, blew the gun apart, because it was polymer, which is why you should not buy polymer guns. But I mean, ended up being all right.
I will never carry this ever again as my, conceal and carry weapon. I'm going to take it to the range when we take our new AR-15 out and see how it does. But I might put it up for sale on consignment at a shop. Yeah. And I've been looking at buying like a SIG, these new SIGs they came out with. It's like a P320.
Yeah, if it's the same one we're thinking about, the sights on that are like cool and weird at the same time, because like the top of it's flat and the sights are like in the back of the fucking like actual slide, so it's meant.
The sights are cool.
Like it won't catch or anything when you're drawing it.
Right, and he took the slide off and pointed down into the. I'll probably get the terminology wrong, and the gun dudes can correct me, but. Took the slide completely off and pointed down into the trigger assembly and all the guts of the gun. And he's like, this is what you're paying for, because you can take the sliding barrel off and order another one. Like you can buy it in 9mm, and then you can buy a slide and a barrel in like SIG 357 and put it on there and run the 357 SIG, which is like a fat 9mm, but chambered in 357. It's SIGs. It's some Gucci, I don't know, load.
Some designer shit.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's got a lot of punch in it. But they're like, you can switch this out with like 3 different barrels and slides for like $135 extra.
Nice. Now, see, that's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of gimmicky, but it's like, no, they already made all the good guns. They have to get gimmicky to like get you to buy them.
I like the mechanics of guns. I was kicked out of shop class in 7th grade. Our teacher looked like Bruce Springsteen, I think. His name was Mr. Tucker. And
was he born in the USA?
Yeah, he totally was. And he always had like a rag in the back of his Wranglers in his pocket. You know what I mean? Like that Bruce Springsteen album. And he always wore like sunglasses inside, which I didn't think was safe in shop. And my last name back then when I was a kid was White. And he would follow me around going, White, I'm watching you, White. White. And was like always on my ass in shop class. And I'm like, leave me alone. My dad's a gunsmith. I help him make barrels and shit. Leave me be.
Do this.
I'm like, I can do the drill press. Get off my back, buddy. And he's like, you're unsafe. He's like, get out of my class. Don't ever come back. You take double home ec from now on. I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong, but he was always up my ass. So I had to take double home ec all through middle school.
Yeah, that sucks.
And I learned to sew.
Well, I mean, you should also know how to sew too. I mean, like I do all my own sewing. But...
Yeah, I learned to sew. So I sew whatever I want. So there we go. Yep. So are you still in school?
College? No, actually, I'm not. I don't know. I don't think the right term's dropped out. I am not going back though. And there's a few things that went in that. Like one of them was, so. It was a fucking art degree anyway, so like it doesn't really mean anything. It was more like I'm using my GI Bill, fucking get some cash while I'm doing this. If I graduate, great. If I don't. But it got to the point to where like I was taking like summer courses because I wanted to graduate early, and then when I had the amount of credits that I needed to graduate, I was like, hey, so I only need to do one more semester because I already have all the fucking prerequisite shit done. What I got to do to apply for graduation? Like, oh no, you need to come here for a whole full another year because
of some
this whole things in the fucking some like really dumb bullshit. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm good, I'm out. And like part of me was like, yeah, maybe I should like use the other benefits I have and just push through it. But it was also getting to the point to where like for our projects and shit, we'd have to do like a write up or like a proposal. Like, hey, listen, this is what my art project's going to be about.
Oh yeah,
we're going to do that, blah, whatever. which, you know, cool or whatever. But like the kickback on that was always like, yeah, this isn't politically correct enough. And it's like, okay, yeah, not coming the fuck back for that.
Oh, yeah. It's like my oldest son is getting a degree in computer science, and it's very cut and dry. And he tested out a calculus, and he was like bummed about that. He's like, oh, I want to take calculus. And he's just like, I like computer science and calculus because it's this. There's no write about calculus through the lens of, you know, a teenage girl.
Yeah.
There's none of that. It's just calculus.
Yeah, no, and then like fucking what really like nailed or put the final nail in the coffin for that was like that project that I got told wasn't politically correct enough. I painted it anyway, and then I sold it for $1,000. And it's like, all right, so I don't need you fuckers.
Yeah. What the heck?
Yeah.
You don't need an art degree to do art.
No. For art, you just need somebody that likes your art.
You just need to produce. You just need to keep producing art, and you know,
and have a fucking fan base. And like, even if it's like, I mean, like, you know, there's different metrics to it, but like what my buddy Reagan Lodge told me about it was like, hey, listen, you don't need to get anything huge. You just need to find. Now, granted, you know, it might be hard to do this at first, but you need to find like 200 people that are worth spending $10 on you a month. Yeah. That's all you have to fucking do.
Yeah.
Or if you want to get baller, find like 5 people that are, you know, willing to spend $100 on you a month, you know, whatever the fuck it is, you know.
Your skeletons and your skulls and things just, I mean, the Afghanistan fuck up happened, and you start popping those out.
Yeah.
And those are awesome.
Thank you.
Those are great. And I always retweet those, and I repost those on Facebook every time I see them, because those are kick ass. I mean,
thank you. I actually have one left, and it's not for sale right now because I have there's an art show in New Jersey in like 2 or 3 weeks that I got invited to show it at, and I was like, I could sell this.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go to the art show. I haven't been to one of those. Let me go put that on my resume real quick.
You better make a bunch more.
Yeah.
Those are awesome. Like,
thank you.
When I first saw those skeletons, okay, one time Van Gogh painted a skeleton. Have you seen that?
With the cigarette hanging out of his mouth?
Yeah. Yes. And I thought, oh, that reminds me of Van Gogh, because it's just very simple, but just striking, you know?
Yeah.
You need to keep doing those. Those are awesome.
One of the jokes I have about Van Gogh, though, is while he was alive, he only sold, I think, 1 painting. He didn't get famous after he died. So,
right.
Using metrics, I've sold more than 1 painting while I was alive. So technically, I'm a more successful artist than Van Gogh was. So
yeah, you are.
Suck it, France.
So suck it, Van Gogh.
Was he French or Dutch? I think he was Dutch.
Dutch.
He was Dutch.
Van Gogh.
Suck it, the Dutch or Netherlands or.
And they would, because they're dirty like that.
Oh fuck! I need to go visit.
Let's get over there. I think they dropped all their COVID restrictions. So here we go.
That's good. I haven't really been keeping up with what they're doing, except for what Germany's doing. But the only reason I'm keeping up with that is because I have an uncle over there and he tells me. So it's not like I'm Googling it. It's like, hey, what's up?
What's up with Germany? What you doing, Merkel?
We're sucking ass. Okay, all right.
We're passing out these gold badges to the vaccinated.
Yeah, fuckers.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, no one's ever thought of that before.
No, that worked great last time. Let's do it again. All right.
Yeah, that was only like what, 90 years, 80? Fuck, what? Hold on. Yeah, it was only 80 years ago.
It's only 80 years ago. It's time to roll it out again. All right, sounds good.
I mean, it worked so good the first time, right?
Yeah, let's, get rid of some people. All right. Sure.
Fucking speaking of that, I had one of my buddies up here a couple weeks ago. And have you seen the Big Lebowski? Okay.
I saw it when it came out.
He had not seen the Big Lebowski, and I thought that he had, because like A, who hasn't seen that movie? And then B, earlier in the night, he said something where he said, that's just your opinion, man. And I was like, okay, cool. So for whatever reason, we started talking about politics, and I forget exactly what he said, but it had something to do with, like right-wing nutbags. And I was like, well, say what you wanted about the tenets of National Socialism, at least it's an ethos. And he was like, dude, what? And I'm like, what? And he's like, dude, he got like mad about it. And then I was like, oh, you haven't seen the movie. All right, sit down and watch this. And we're watching it. And he goes, you know that you're Walter, right? And I was like, yeah, probably.
I love that. See, that movie came out in like 98.
Yeah.
And I saw that. Let's see, I saw that, and there was a bunch of good movies back then. Everybody was going to Titanic back then. I was like, Jesus criminy, no. I hated that movie, Titanic. But the Big Lebowski was awesome.
Well, I mean, Titanic was like 2 whole VHS tapes.
Yeah, of horribleness.
Yeah.
I saw a horrible meme on Twitter the other day, and it was Rose laying on the door.
Yeah.
And Jack is next to her, clinging to it. And below the water is a mermaid giving him a BJ.
Nice. Nice. Also, they both could have fit on that fucking door.
And that's why he didn't get on the door, because he was getting some service from the mermaid.
Well, hey, do you know what? It was warm somewhere.
That movie was horrible.
Yeah.
You think about it. She cheated on her husband with some dude she met that was down in steerage. And then she lived with him and had kids. And the whole time she was thinking about this street rat that she banged in a Model T. And then she hid the diamond and threw it in the water. When Bill Paxton's like, I need that diamond so bad. That's like my take on it. I also hated Pretty Woman.
I think I've seen Pretty Woman once, and it was on TV.
It's horrible. It's like Richard Gere's wealthy. He picks up a whore during the time of AIDS, immediately gets a blowjob, and moves her in.
Yeah, no, I don't know what happened in the fucking 90s, but like, I miss the attitude from the previous decade where it's like, all right, yeah, dude, I'm a rich rock star. Like, no, I'm not going to marry the fucking chick. I'm going to go fuck her sister afterwards. Fuck you,
And mom too.
Yeah.
And the maid.
Yeah, and you know what? We move it just to the early 80s when fucking Bowie and Freddie Mercury were thinking, then I'm going to bang your dad and your brothers. So, you know what?
And we've got a movie with Michael Hutchins crawling around on the floor the entire time doing rails of coke.
Yeah.
What was that movie called? It's like Dogs from Outer Space or something. Michael Hutchins of NXS.
Did you ever see the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg?
No.
90s movie, I believe, might have been early 2000s, but it was kind of based on like Judas Priest story where like there's this big successful rock band and then they kick up the lead singer because the lead singer's gay, and then like some like dude in a cover band who's played by Mark Hamill gets to be the lead singer of that real band, and then like here's a half-hour montage of like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and then like, oh my god, my life's destroyed, I did too much cocaine, let me go back and go home and marry the girl from next door because I'm tired of all these whores and coke. But it's like, we still got the whores and coke part, It
sounds like the Motley Crue story.
Yeah, dude. Also, on that, dude, how the fuck did Netflix make Motley Crue boring?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, if anybody can screw it up, it's Netflix. It's,
Yeah, no, that movie.
I would totally whore out a book to Netflix. I would totally whore out The Water War. Netflix.
Yeah, no, that's just because I want more commas in my bank account. But like,
I want some green, to like move far away from humanity and live alone and not have to worry about, I want to be one of the elites.
Yeah. I want to go out in the woods and eat those babies with the goddamn cultists.
Oh my God. Speaking of Motley Crue, I like Motley Crue. I'm not a Motley Crue fan. Like, I don't own any of their music, but I know like all their songs and stuff. Yeah. A few years ago, we were at the St. Louis Zoo walking around with their boys when they were little, and we just come out of the gift shop. My kid had like a big cloth, like a stuffed snake, around his neck that he got at the gift shop. And I looked up and I ran into this dude and I looked up at him and I was like, oh my God, it's Nikki Sixx. And my husband's like, you think you know everybody? And I'm like, no, it's a dude from Motley Crue. I'm like, it's.
Well, was it? Or was it something that looked like
this woman with this huge blonde hair and this tank top and boobs everywhere. And she's like, see, honey, people know who you are, And he had 5 kids with them. And I was like, it's Nikki fucking Sixx. And my husband's like, stop talking to strange men in public, you know? And I'm like, I know him. It's Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue. And I'm like, dude, quit doing heroin, man. You just OD'd the other day. I'm like, stop.
Fucking he got into some Twitter drama about a year ago, I think, that I was just eating the fuck up. Do you know a band called Steel Panther?
Sounds old and from the 80s.
Their first album came out in like 2010, I think.
Oh shit.
But their whole like shtick was that they were about to get famous in the 80s and then did battery acid instead of like actual acid.
Oh,
and then like
they were in the 80s.
Yeah, and these guys are all like 50 fucking years old.
Yeah,
so
I know
like,
who that is.
But like they didn't get famous until like 2010, and their music is fucking A, it's intense, and B, it's fucking hilarious because like it's kind of like comedy rock type shit, but
like Gogh.
They were like their songs are called like Glory Hole or like Going in the Back Door or like Fucking My Heart in the Ass, like that kind of shit. But they were in an interview and somebody was like, if you could bring any rock star back from the dead, who would it be? And they were like, Vince Neil. And they're like, what? Wait, Vince Neil's still alive? I was like, no, the fuck he's not. That dude died in like fucking like 1992. And like if he was still around, like there wouldn't be this like fat imposter fucking fuckhead making this shit music. And then Nikki Sixx got like super pissed off about it, like sort of lighting him up on Twitter, and it's like, dude, look, well, maybe they wouldn't have said that if you've made a good album in the last 30 fucking years, man. Like shit.
Oh my god, that's awesome. I remember Steel Panther, right?
Yeah,
they were around with Quiet Riot.
No, they weren't. No, their first album came out in like 2010.
They didn't have an album back in the 80s.
No, the guys in it did. Okay. But they were all in different bands and like doing different shit. Like
Rat. Ugh.
Like I think their guitarist was in Racer X back in the 90s, if you remember them.
I remember the name. I don't know who that is.
But none of them individually were like, you know, big well-known dudes.
It wasn't an actual band, huh?
Yeah, no. And then like they fucking in the mid 2000s, I guess, all got together and went, hey dude, you know what'd be funny? Let's put on spandex and like wigs, pretend it's like it's 1984 again.
Yeah. It was good times.
Yeah.
It was good times. That's when I was in middle school, I think. I went to this rough middle school called Johns Hill Middle School. And it was on top of this hill in the middle of my hometown. And you could see like the whole town from up there. It was a 3-story school. And this girl from our school caught the school on fire one day when I was like in 8th grade. We'd have to go to gym class. We had to sit in these lines. And she's like, fuck you, I'm not sitting in a line. And the gym teacher grabbed her and kicked her feet out from under her and slammed her on the ground. She bounced back up and she's like, I'm going to get this school back for everything. And we all went outside to play football. And she went into the hallway where all these wrestling mats were, took out a pack of cigarettes, lit them on fire, shoved them in the wrestling mat. And then like 30 minutes later, we went to come in to change clothes in the locker room, and black smoke was coming out of the school like crazy. Fire trucks were coming up. She burnt the basement and the first floor of the school up.
Shit.
The early 80s were crazy. But yet it was all completely normal. We're like, hey, it's just, you know, Nicole. That's just what she does. It was a rough middle school.
Sorry, I'm a Scorpio.
We're like, you know, she takes speed before we run the 50-yard dash. What do you expect? You know,
yeah, that's one way to win, right?
She used to take speed before we'd run those, you know, those presidential tests, and like totally freaking fly like David Bowie in heels. You know, just. And then one time she collapsed at the end of like the 100-yard dash, and we're like, what do you expect? She's popping speed and doing whippets. You know, that was the early 80s.
Dude, do people still do whippets?
I don't know. Do they?
I mean, because that's like all you need is like a can of Cool Whip for that, right?
Yeah. Or that can of air that you clean your computer out with.
Oh yeah, I guess you could do it with that. I think people still do that. They just call it huffing now.
We used to. I mean, people I know.
So back when my friend Stacy,
people would buy that stuff. In our hometown, we had like a XXX store right downtown.
Yeah.
Right downtown. And people would go in there and buy like a little jar of whatever the heck whippets were. And they'd just take a whiff of it. It was like in a little brown bottle.
Huh.
And you'd see a kid in middle school with that, and he'd be pulling out and huffing it. And you're like, he's doing whippets in the middle of history. Can you blame him? It's really boring.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, at least look cool if you can eat it afterwards.
Yeah. This is just straight whippets. And people would buy tanks of nitrous from like the dentist.
Yeah.
The shady dentist, you know, nitrous oxide or whatever.
I mean, good for the dentist because like he probably had to sell that for a fucking $1,000. But
I mean, and you know, we're talking about drugs a lot tonight, and I don't endorse drugs. You do what you want, you know.
Yeah.
But as a kid in the 80s, a dime bag of pot was $10.
Well, I mean, that's where the name came from.
Yeah, a dime bag.
Yeah. Although now I'm kind of wondering how much a dime bag is now.
My son in high school a few years ago told me that it's like $100 or more.
What?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Not that he knows, but.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
My kids are pretty straight and nerdy. They don't.
Dave told me.
They don't do like, okay, when I was 15, my friend and I, we went to the Quickie Mart, and there were some dudes out front that were 21, 22. We were 15. I probably looked 13. And we said, hey, will you take some of our money and buy us booze? Yeah. And they went inside and bought us like liquor. And they came out and they said, do you need a ride somewhere? And we said, sure, give us a ride home. We got on the back of their motorcycles with them. They're like 22, 23. I'm 15. Yeah. They take us to my friend's house and they're like, are you guys having a party? And we go, yeah, we're going to throw a big party tonight. We're 15. All these kids from the local university, private university, come over to my friend's house. We throw this huge party. Meanwhile, some high school dude was looking for me, called my parents' house, gets my dad with his 2 hearing aids, and is like, where's Shirley at? My dad's like, who's this? Demanding to know where Shirley's at. And he kept calling and like demanding to know where I'm at because word is out that we're throwing a huge party for this university. Dad calls my friend's house. Everybody gets quiet. We're playing quarters and drinking hard. He's like, I'm coming to get you right now. There's some guy demanding to know where you're at. We're like, everybody out. Everybody out. We shooed everybody out of that house fast. My friend sprayed me over with Aquanet, brushed my teeth.
Out the house, rub some sage, do a seance real quick.
It's crazy. I'm like, my kids have never done anything like that. You know?
Yeah, no, I never do anything wild at home. I always did that fucking shit somewhere else. But I think my dad got married and had kids too early. So when I was in high school going through my rebellious stage, like he was in his late 30s doing his rebellious stage. And like I remember like shit would happen all the time where like fucking there was a while, you know, I'd go over to my girlfriend's house and like her parents would kick me out at like 10 o'clock each night. So like I would be home at like 10:15 every fucking night. But then like one time like me and her got in a fight, so I said fuck it and left and came home at like 9, and I opened the door and my dad's banging his girlfriend on the couch. I'm like, oh god, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, we're sorry, fucking we didn't know you were gonna be home. Oh my god, no. And I'm like, you have a bedroom for this. I sleep on that couch, man. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, as a writer, I gotta ask, why did you sleep on the couch?
I don't know what it is. I just fucking love sleeping on a couch.
Couch sleeping's good.
Yeah, no. I will sleep better on a shitty couch than I will on a fucking expensive bed.
Couch sleeping is the bomb.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure part of it has to do with like I can sleep with my back all fucking twisted and fucked up and like put my leg over here and my arm over here and then like get all over the place. That's where like if I want to bed, I gotta just lay there.
We got this hippie mattress last year. It's called a green tea infused memory foam mattress. It's cool. Like the cool side of the pillow, you know?
Yeah. Are you sure you didn't vote for Obama?
I voted for Bernie. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, checks out. Like, no judgment. I'm just saying.
Okay, so I always look like a liberal. And you do too. You look like a liberal, totally.
Yeah.
Totally do. So, like, when I was in college in October of '92, when you were probably born, or not even born then. You weren't even born then.
I was born in the 80s.
Oh, okay. What year?
87.
Okay, that's the year of my novel. I was 16.
Hey.
So, hey. So, in October of '92, I was in the College Republicans, and we got invited to come to St. Louis. I may have told you this already, and meet George Bush and the whole cabinet and Barbara and all of
Yeah,
them.
we talked about that last time where like you got approached by the
and the Secret Service were like, you look like a liberal. We're going to sneak you into all the rallies.
Yeah.
And I do, which I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm the ultimate gray man. Nobody knows.
Yeah, no, and like the thing about that shit, like I'm not one or the other fucking like, it's very,
No.
I would like to say that it's very, you know, like I look at the fucking candidates and what they're doing and like what their proposals are for like whatever, and then like, you know, make a decision off that. However, most of the voting is, you know, local, state, or for the fucking like you know, representatives or senators or whatever. And my senators and representatives suck. I send hate mail to both my representative and both my senators like once a month. And
I sent some to Obama and he would send it back. He would send hate mail back to me and get real snippy with me. And it was not like a computer generated answer. It was a bitch.
Was it? Because I want to see that.
I have it somewhere in my Yahoo. I'll pull it up. But when he was president, every once in a while, I would email him. I emailed him like 3 times, I think, in his 8 years.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, I liked one thing that he was doing. I said, you know, I like this that you're doing. I can't remember what it was. I said, but this other thing is really endangering our country. You know, you're trying to, like, I don't know what it was, take away guns or whatever. I said, this is endangering our safety. You know, stop doing that. And he's like, I'll have you know that my plan for that is this and this and this, and this is why. And he got like all up in my grill in a letter that he mailed me. I was like, it wasn't
back.
It wasn't a computer related, you know, a computer generated response.
It wasn't obviously one of the fucking interns or some shit.
It might have been some salty dude.
I graduated from Berkeley last month, all right, and I'm not gonna take this shit.
You suck.
Yeah. No, but like most of that shit though, like fucking, I want to say maybe about half, probably not half, maybe a third of like, I guess, like the liberal agenda. Like it's like I agree with the sentiment, I just don't agree with how we pay for it. You know, yeah. It's like the whole like fucking like say like universal healthcare or whatever. It's like, yeah, that'd probably be a good thing, but like you're gonna use that as an excuse to tax me into fucking poverty and then not do it.
Yeah. They'll come up with these programs, but the money never makes it there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But last year we had what was it, $46 billion to give to Pakistan for gender studies education.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you cut that out, instead of giving the money to Pakistan, you just did the healthcare thing with that money, I'd be on board.
I'd be on board with that. And we just give to all these people that never give anything back. To me, it's just money laundering.
Yeah. And it's all fucking monopoly money, too. It's like, we don't run out of money. Let's print more.
Let's print the $1 trillion coin. Did you see that baloney a few weeks ago? The $1 trillion coin. I'm going to see Nicolas Cage steal that and run around with it.
And just throw it into the fucking bottom of the ocean.
Just flip it.
And go hang out in the fucking, go hang out with that diamond by the Titanic.
Buy a gumball with it. I have a $1 trillion coin. Like, who thinks of this bullshit? Do we have Austin Powers in the office? What's going on?
Exactly that.
What was with Joe Biden last night? Did you see the thing with Anderson Cooper?
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
You know what I think that is? My mom lives in assisted living, and she has this raised toilet seat that has handles on it, and I think
he just forgot where he was.
He's sitting on the pot.
Shitting his fucking pants. Right into his fucking goddamn adult diapers.
He's holding 2 ice cream cones. One for him and one for Anderson.
I guess. Well, I mean, he's not holding it for fucking Harris because that pick's fucking AWOL. Like, where the fuck is she at?
She just, like, what do you think about all the civilians and women and children left in Afghanistan? She's like, ha, like laughing.
Yeah. It's like, dude, look, I didn't vote for y'all, but like, I would like it if you did your fucking job.
It's like why is that funny?
Like you can do your job, right? Like you're only the fucking president and vice president. You can do your fucking job, right?
And they're like, they asked Jen Psaki, why isn't Biden going to the southern border of Mexico? Well, he's been there. When? Well, he drove through there in 2008. he was playing a leak pad in the back of the limo with Obama when he went through.
Yeah, fuckers.
And I don't vote straight ticket, but I want some freedom. Just let us go.
Yeah. Most of the time, I'm not voting for somebody. I'm voting against them, and then I also write them a letter saying, "Hey, I voted against you because you're a fucking dickhead, and let me illustrate to you why." And then like keep it this short of a death threat so they don't send somebody to my house.
So, do you make a snail mail letter or are you emailing?
I email it.
You're on
I get the fucking like generic fucking like assistant like replies where it's like, we understand your concern about this issue, however this is our stance on it. It's like, bro, I'm emailing you about somebody that died because of this. Okay, yep, cool. Yeah, I know that's what you're doing. That's why I emailed you in the first place.
I love that you're active on this because not enough people are. Because like, do you know what a witness slip is?
No.
Okay, so like if Congress is getting ready to vote on a thing, saying we're going to vote on leaving $84 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan. We're going to vote on that. And you can go and fill out a thing called a witness slip that says, I'm against this. My name is this. I live in this district. Don't do this. Comments. And it sends it to all your representatives that represent your part of the United States.
Yeah.
And they get flooded with that shit. And they'll say, oh my God, 25,000 witness slips came in against this shit. If I vote for this, I'm going to get voted out. So I do that within Illinois politics where I live a lot. Yeah. Witness slips for like gun control and things like that. And I don't know, lobbyists say it really helps. So they get pounded with all these witness slips because they read them and look at them. Well, I guess. I don't know.
Now, is that like handwritten or?
No, it's an internet form.
Oh, so I can't just like send them pictures of my dick because like I'm like an inch away from that.
But they probably send all those to Hunter.
Well, do you know what? Then maybe he could paint it and then I would get some fucking royalties. And then because that's also a giant fucking money laundering scheme. Like, dude, if that's how I got to make $1 million, that's how I got to make $1 million, man. Yeah. Fucking $20 is $20.
Yeah. It's a goddamn mess. And it's like, don't tell me what to do with my kids when your own kid is a crack smoking, stripper banging, money laundering, deadbeat, pedo. Oh God, I'm probably gonna get a lawsuit for all this shit.
God, dude, no. And the other fucking thing though too is like he likes to prop up his other kid, which I do feel bad about his other kid. I don't remember his fucking name, but the one that died from like
my son.
He had like he had a brain tumor or something. Yeah. But that dude. He likes to say, well, my son got a Bronze Star in Iraq. And it's like, okay, your son was an officer. They give most people in the military, most people who aren't in the military don't know this, but they give officers Bronze Stars for making sure paperwork gets done correctly. Yeah. So
who cares?
I don't care.
It's like, was his name Bo?
Yeah. Bo Biden. It's like, dude, I have the enlisted version of that. So I don't care.
Yeah. It's like, my son, Bo, it's like, you know what? 13 people just lost their life for no reason. Yeah. You're talking about your son, Bo, who didn't do shit.
Yeah. No, 13 people didn't die for no reason. 13 people died because of bad policy fucking on his end.
Yeah. 13 people died because you guys jacked up.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, but that's not that bad because my son, Bo.
Well, that and like other assholes be like, well, fucking this isn't really Biden's fault. It's Trump's for doing this, setting it up. It's like, no. Trump, like, I don't think his plan was good, and I don't think it would have been pretty, but it was out by May, and then someone wanted a fucking photo op on September 11th, so he changed it. So yeah, no, it is his fault, and fuck you for defending him.
All that rifles and helicopters and trucks and why do we leave all that?
That one, like, I'm not super fucking mad about, like, because everyone likes to spin that like it was shit we just left. However, that stuff wasn't ours anymore. That was stuff we gave to the Afghan army
army.
Not
that wasn't our responsibility.
Yeah. It just happened that the Afghan army is fucking worthless, which anybody who's been there could fucking tell you. Like, this is how I fucking put it together. Like, the Taliban took back fucking Afghanistan, right? Anybody who's been there could tell you their sentiment on that is like, yeah, no, that was fucking inevitable. That was gonna fucking happen because Afghan fucking A&P and Afghan fucking army are about as useful as tits on a bull. The thing about that though is I liken it to, like, imagine you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whoever, and like super in love with this fucking person, and you know that they're just like fucking everybody else, but like you psych yourself out to like think that like no, they're faithful and loyal and like they'd never fucking cheat on me. And then one day you walk in and there's like 2 dicks in each hole, and it's like, I knew this was happening. Fuck, god damn it. Like we knew it was gonna happen. It just sucks to fucking actually.
I mean, how long were they training this Afghan army?
20 years?
20 years, right? That's a long time. Couldn't they train them in like 4 or... I mean, how long did you train in the Marines?
Fucking general weird question, but like, so like boot camp was like 3 months, and then depending on your MOS, you either got, 3 months to a year of training after that. The other thing though is like there's like a big cultural difference over there. So like the difference in political ideology between like the Taliban and the rest of the Afghans is similar to the, I guess, political or religious fucking difference between like Baptists and Methodists. So it's like, imagine that, like, things are flipped around. Like, for the sake of argument, let's just say you're a Methodist, right? And then for the last 20 years, fucking the Catholics were fucking over here running shit. And then like, as soon as the Catholics leaves, the Baptists move in. And you're like, that's kind of what I am. So fuck it.
That's what a mess. What a waste of money.
Yeah.
What an absolute waste of money and life and everything else,
Yep. There was this bumper sticker that was real big for a while, probably around 2008 to 12-ish, that time frame. But it said, "America's not at war, the military's at war, America's at the mall," which is funny because the war that was meant for, that became, I guess, like a bumper sticker meme type thing long enough ago to where malls aren't fucking around anymore.
No, I'm just gonna say that's like from 92.
Yeah.
Or 90. Desert Shield, Desert Storm.
Yeah.
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
That's how old I am. A friend of mine was in Desert Shield and Desert Storm. And so what was that, like 6 years?
What? No, Desert Shield and Storm was like 18 months total. And I think Desert Storm was like a little bit less than a month.
Less than a month? Well, he was in like 6 years over there.
Yeah.
Part of it was Saudi Arabia, part of it Afghanistan, maybe. I don't know. He's all around. He's a Marine. He's still a Marine. Yeah. Once a Marine, always a Marine. My youngest son almost went into the Marines, but when Joe Biden and all the election mess happened, he's like, that's such a mess that a whole election, he's like, I can't pledge like anything to that guy. He's like, that guy's like shitting his pants live on TV. He's like, I can't pledge to obey that dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was a thing that came out a month or two ago about how somebody found a report that like fucking the White House is buying like and having shipped there like a massive amount of like fucking like adult fucking like diapers, and it's like, wonder who that's for.
Is anybody surprised?
No.
Is anybody surprised? I'm not surprised. I mean, he can't string 2 sentences together. That's elder abuse.
Yeah.
Speaking
of elder abuse, I have a dirty joke if you'd like to hear it.
Sure, go.
What does 90-year-old pussy taste like?
I think I've heard this before.
Depends.
Oh my God. What'd the guy tell his wife with 2 black eyes?
Well, I mean, he'd done already fucking told her twice.
Nothing. He already told her twice.
That's fucked up.
Hey, it's like Stalin used to say, dark humor is like food.
Not everybody gets it.
Not everybody gets it. You gotta have some dark humor right now.
Oh, dude, no, fucking somebody posted something, and their whole argument was like dark humor is always just about bigotry, and you shouldn't like appreciate dark humor. But like he also posted it like last night. So like all the fucking replies have been about fucking Alec Baldwin, and it's like, how is this bigotry? I'm gonna shoot some holes in your argument here, buddy.
They are dragging his ass all over Twitter today.
You know, I don't think it would have been as fucking bad if you hadn't been as much of an anti-gun nut. But it's like, hey, dude, if you knew not to point fucking guns at people.
Yeah, and I guess he said, they're like, let's do this take again. And he was like, how about I shoot the two of you? And then pointed at the two people and went bang, bang. And he shot them.
Yep.
You know? And that was like
treat every weapon as if it were fucking loaded, motherfucker.
I mean, that's like how that Brandon Lee died of The Crow.
Yeah, except for we got a good movie out of The Crow. So, I mean, like...
The Crow was a great movie, and then, like, The Crow 2 was getting ready to come out. Did he die making The Crow 2? Is that what it was?
I thought he died making The Crow, and that's why it's all fucking edited and cut weird, because...
Yeah, the end of The Crow 1. He died at the end of that.
Because, like, there was... Who? Somebody else was in The Crow, too. I don't remember who it was.
Some other dude, bro. I don't think I saw that one. I don't know. The Crow 1 was badass when it came out. I saw that in the theater. I thought that was badass. I went and saw, I remember when they were doing Fight Club trailers.
Yeah.
You know, in the theater before it came out. And I don't even know. Yeah, I think I was married or maybe just getting married. And I was like, we have got to go see this movie. And he's like, Shirley, it looks like really violent. And I'm like, I have to go see this movie. It looks badass.
What's wrong with being violent? Fucking life, history, everything's... Dude, the Bible's fucking violent as shit. Fucking, come on.
Yeah. I'm like, we have to go see this. And I think I was like barely pregnant when I went and saw that. And I was like the only woman in the theater. And I was like, yes. I mean, it's just, that movie is badass.
Yeah.
And the twist, I didn't know that twist was coming. I was like, what? You know, when you hear the twist.
What I think's good about that, though, cinematically speaking, is when you watch it the second time, knowing the twist at the end, it still makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of movies that like would have a weird twist at the end, and then you go watch it the second time, and it's like, this isn't good knowing what happens. Like
The Sixth Sense. I took my mother to see The Sixth Sense, okay?
Yeah.
And she had not been to a movie since like Danny Kaye had been in a movie, you know? And we went to The Sixth Sense. In the middle of it, she goes, well, Bruce Willis is dead. That's why that kid is talking to him. Like in the very beginning of the movie, she said that. And all these people were like, shut up. You know? She like spoiled it in the very, very, very beginning.
My favorite take on that one, though, was from... was it It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I was like, hey, you know at the end of Sixth Sense, it turns out that guy was Bruce Willis the whole time. That's not what the twist is, man.
Was it Charlie that said that?
Yeah, I think so.
I love Always Sunny, and I don't like TV, but I love that show. I mean, that show is, and especially when they get Frank Reynolds in, they get in Danny DeVito.
I get to play the troll guy.
Yeah, and Mac is gay. I love it. It's just wrong and twisted. Yeah. Dee and Dennis, and they're smoking crack, and they get that priest all jacked up.
Dude, that was shitty what they did to that guy, but like it was so fucking hilarious,
Jiminy Cricket, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I love that show. I bought my mom that for Christmas. Like I bought her like the first 4 seasons.
Yeah.
My mom is 83. And she's like, oh my God, the show is so wrong, but I love it. God.
Well, the other thing that's great about that show is that it's been on for so fucking long. I think it's still on.
They edited it, though. Did you know that? They edit out words and stuff.
Really?
Like in one episode, they go to the ski resort, and they're imitating an 80s movie, and so there's like topless girls in hot tubs and stuff. They edited that out.
What, was that when they made Lethal Weapon 5 or 6?
Yeah, that one was good too. They edited out like a bunch of swear words and other non-politically correct stuff, and I think they edited out boobs or something.
Well, I mean, it was originally on TV, so they probably have the boobs edited out at least.
I saw it once with boobs, I think, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's boobs!" And then the next time I saw it, they had, I don't know. I think they edited some things out, but that show is a trip. Charlie's mom,
Yeah, no,
Mac's mom.
but like what I was gonna say was like I like, because it's been on for so long, you get to like watch the characters like grow and evolve. Like you don't get to see a lot in a lot of other shows, or like even like because like first season and now they're different characters, like about the same, but you know, like they've grown and evolved. But like say you take another show like that, like say Cheers, which was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
like Sam Malone is the same guy on the last episode as he was on the first episode, you know.
Diane, and then they switched her with Kirstie Alley.
Yeah,
Woody Harrelson was on it, you know.
yeah, after Coach died. Yeah, that was a great show.
That was a good show, you know.
And then like a lot of people like dog on Diane leaving. They're like, oh well, you know, after Diane left, the show sucked and Kirstie Alley's garbage. It's like, dude, I like Kirstie Alley. Fuck you.
I like Kirstie Alley. She's good. She's always getting in Twitter beefs with people.
Yeah, no, she's great for the fucking drama.
She's badass. I like her. She's a total badass. But like, Always Sunny is just so dark, but good. You know, yeah. It's like really dark and it's just stupid. I mean, Charlie Kelly is like so nasty. He sleeps in a bed with Frank.
Whose poop is that?
And then, what's the girl's name that they have come on there that's like real dramatic and she narrates stuff? She's kind of heavy. What's her name?
Oh, it's not Janice.
No,
Artemis,
yeah. She's like banging Frank and eating food in the dumpster.
Dumpster baby. Yeah, no, that might be the best show since Seinfeld.
Yeah, I started rewatching Seinfeld because like the world is so gloomy and black-pilled, you know? I'm like, I need some Seinfeld. So a long time ago, I worked for the Muscular Dystrophy Association, okay, Jerry's Kids, and we had a fundraiser for the very last episode of Seinfeld. Like we had a live viewing of it at a bar and stuff to raise money for MDA. And coming up to it, the phone was ringing off the hook, and I answered the phone, and I'm like, you know, MDA, how can I help you? And he's like, this is Kenny Kramer or whatever his name is. He's like, I'm the real Kramer. You know, it was like the real guy who Kramer was based off of.
Oh, what wasn't it based off of?
Like,
the guy that did Curb Your Enthusiasm.
No, Larry David was George.
Okay, all right.
This was the guy who Kramer was based off of. His name was like Kenny Costa or something. I can't remember his name. And he's like, I've got stuff to send you, but you got to tell everybody it came from the real Kramer. And he does like the Kramer reality tour where he drives a bus around New York City and shows people stuff. But he sent me like some license plates that said Ass Man and a painting of Kramer going like that and a painting of like Costanza in his shorts. And we auctioned those off and raised money. You know, he sent me some Jerry Seinfeld sneakers and Oxford shirts and stuff. And we sold, you know, we auctioned them off and made some money for some kids.
Nice.
It was a total trip.
Yeah, no, one of the things I love about that show is that everyone is based off of everything else. And then like in the show, you know, fucking Jerry and George go to make a show called Seinfeld. And then after that, Larry David fucking ends up being his own fucking guy afterwards. And it's like, oh, like art imitates life. Life imitates art, you know?
I love that show because it's a show about nothing. And when it was on, people changed like their vocabulary, you know, they would be like, yada, 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 you know, They would imitate the show. And back then there was no DVRs or nothing. And there's no, you could watch it another time. You had to watch it when it was on Thursday night.
I've been looking for the puffy shirt just because it pissed my wife off and I would love it. Can't fucking find one.
The puffy shirt. I'll find one.
Like I've seen some on like Amazon, but they're like the cheap costume ones. So it's like I don't want a costume one. Like I want one to like I wouldn't wear it to like work, but like I want something I could wear to work. You know what I mean?
You could rock the puffy shirt.
Yeah. Come in, like hello. was that Terry Hatcher? They were doing that too.
Was she on that episode? They're real and they're fabulous.
Yeah.
I don't know that. And David Puddy, that guy, is hilarious. That was a good show.
Yeah.
I don't watch much TV, and I always get in these conversations with people who are like, "Hey, do you watch that show? You really need to watch that show." And I'm like, "I don't need to watch anything, man."
Yeah, no, like there are some good shows out, but like I don't think any of them are on TV. They're all fucking like goddamn like Amazon made like a series or something, you know.
And that's my TV right there. Like I watched on Hulu Only Murders in the Building with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Oh, how was that?
I liked it a lot.
I like both of them.
It was Martin Short is freaking hilarious. And there's parts where Steve Martin is absolutely hilarious. And is it some young girl plays Mabel Mora. What's her name? She's like a singer. She's like a pop singer. I'm so out of it, man. I don't know who that is, but she's really good. And I thought it was a really good show. I was worried that it was going to be real predictable, and it's not. And Sting is on it.
Really? Wait. Sting the musician or Sting the wrestler?
Yes. And he's hilarious. He is he's in like 2 episodes, and he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I think the last thing I saw him in was Dune, and that sucked.
Yes. Well, he plays himself in the show. And it's about a murder that happens in this fancy building, and they're trying to solve it. And Sting is really, he plays himself, but it's freaking hilarious. I like that show. It's like really polished and really, it's got like a color scheme to it. You know what I mean? It's real artsy. I don't know. It's like a Wes Anderson movie kind of thing. Like you see it and it's a certain style through the whole thing.
I get a t-shirt somewhere that says "Fuck the police." Sting's solo work was so much better.
True. I like the Police, but they were like a cricket on cocaine. They were like,
That's
it. Yeah. We were born in the 50s. It's like,
okay, guys. Fuck.
They were like, Stuart Copeland, like banging on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Sting's solo stuff. But that show was good, but it was like a Quaalude almost. You know what I mean? It was real relaxing.
Did you watch The Good Place?
What is that?
I think it's on Hulu.
I'm gonna write that down.
It's a real interesting show. So I don't want to ruin anything for you. I think it's like 3 or 4 seasons long, and they tied it up with a nice bow at the fucking end. Like good experience from front to fucking end. But the first episode is, sets up the whole series. Pretty much like everyone's dead and they're kind of in heaven, but like it might be purgatory, and nobody's like really sure. And then like Ted Danson is like the angel that's like taking care of them.
That's not with the lady with the blonde hair from Veronica Mars or what?
Yeah, no, that's one with her.
Is that it? I think I started watching it. My husband watched it all. I don't think I liked it. I don't know why.
Oh, I love that show.
Was
like
it good?
I think it's like 3/4 of the way through the first season. There's like a pretty heavy twist. It might be at the season finale, and then like it goes like kind of like steady incline where it kind of stays the same, and then like it skyrockets up, and then like the last 2 seasons kind of plateau, but they're still up here as to
maybe I'll have to give it another chance. I'm just like
it does have a slow start.
I don't know why I don't like TV. I don't like anything predictable. My husband got me to watch Clickbait. Did you see that?
I don't think I did.
Clickbait. Parts of it are cringy, at least to me. But it's about this guy. He goes missing, and he ends up in a viral video, and it says, when this gets 5 million likes, we will kill him.
Shit.
On YouTube or whatever.
And then like they post it, and then it gets like 50 likes, and then like nobody watches after that because they thought it was clickbait.
But it starts ratcheting up, and his sister and his wife are working with the police to find out who's got him and where is he and who's going to kill him, and it was good. It's a little cringy. Like, I don't know why. It's like, I don't know. I'm
like
picked.
Cringy, like too dark, or cringy, like that sucked.
Cringy, like a little, maybe the acting was a little over dramatic.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Family.
I have this guy, and I'm gonna write his name down on this piece of paper, and I'm gonna take a picture of him with a newspaper and post it to YouTube.
It's like the cop was like, why aren't I getting a promotion? It's because I'm a Muslim and you hate me, you know? And it was like, the kids are like, his wife is black and his kids are mixed, and which is fine. And I'm not getting into that, but I'm like, the kids are like, I'm a sullen teen. I'm mad. Dad is gone. I'm going to text. All I do is text. I'm a teenager, you know? And it's like, but it was good.
There was a similar problem with that with Midnight Mass, if you saw that.
I heard that was good.
It's overall like totally worth the watch, but like they're in this like isolated, you know, community on this island. I think it's off the coast of Oregon or some shit, and like the cop is a Muslim dude who joined the NYPD like right after 9/11, like, you know, earned his ranks, got up, and then like got tired of being investigating Muslims or some shit. But there's this one part in the fucking show where this lady comes in and goes, hey, I need you to go investigate the church because I think they are killing people. And he's like, yeah, I'm a Muslim. I can't just go investigate the church because let me give you this like long backstory about how like I'm Muslim, and if I, you know, go after the Catholics, the town's not gonna like that. And it's like, dude, they're literally murdering. Somebody came in and told you they're murdering people. Do your fucking job, dude.
I don't like anything that has even a whiff of political bullshit, you know? Just keep it out, you know? We can see he's Muslim. I don't know. That's because I'm old.
Yeah.
I'll write that. I'll take the old card. Like, and even when I was a kid, when they came out with like the Wonder Years, when I was like 17, my dad's like, I'm not watching that bullshit. They make the dad look like a jackass and a buffoon. Every TV show makes the dad look like an asshole. And my dad never swore, but he would say they make the dad look like an idiot, and it's all about dads are bad, and it's political baloney, you know? And I guess I get that from him because I'm like, if I feel like someone's feeding me a line down my throat, I'm like, no, I'm not watching that.
Yeah, no, like overall the show is good, but there was like that one episode where it was like, listen, your political beliefs, character guy, you're the sheriff, do your job, you know?
Do your job. So speaking of TV shows and Twitter and all these TikTok and distractions and stuff, do you find it hard to find time to write? Or do you schedule that in, or?
No, that? I mean, I haven't written anything in a while, but like I'm at that stage now where like I'm shooting for December, but should have a book coming out in December, January, and February, and like all my shit's got art in it. So like right now I'm burning through the art trying to fucking meet a deadline on that. So
who do you publish through?
I still have to do the fucking music for it and shit too, because you know I put music on all my books and stuff. So
yeah. Who do you publish through? Do you publish through Amazon or?
Yeah, I just do it through Amazon.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, no, like because when I was trying to, you know, first book when I was trying to get it out, fucking, you know, I tried to do the traditional fucking route thing, and then I don't know, like there was probably a good 200 fucking query letters where it was like, I'm gonna go find this agent, I'm gonna go like read their blog, see what they're about, make sure it's the right fucking dude or chick or whatever, fucking write them an email, and then
hear nothing.
Like I think I got like 2 back, and one of them was like not interested, and the other one was like, okay, I like that, but let's turn the aliens into vampires, and it's like, nah, dude, that's not what this is about.
I queried over 200 people when I wrote I Heart Ed Small, and one person wrote back and said, not only am I not interested, but nobody wants to read anything about the late 60s. And the thing is that book, I sold so many copies of that. I was paying our mortgage for a year off the royalties of that book. So I was like, on you, buddy. Yeah. You know, that was my one book that sold a lot. But since then, I just do it myself. I've been looking at doing that Kindle Vella. Have you looked into that? I don't know what
Kindle Vella is.
It is like selling it like a chapter at a time.
Huh. And then like what, after the whole book's out, then like it does the whole book, or?
So then after I think it's on Kindle Vella for like 60 or 90 days, then you can publish the whole book as one big piece. And Stephen King did the Green Mile like that back in like 1995 or 96.
Really?
He sold it chapter by chapter in paperback, and these little thin little paperbacks, the Green Mile. And people were pissed, but they bought it anyway. Yeah. And so it's kind of like, what's that?
Be mad, pay me.
Yeah, it's like one of those shows, that you go to, and it's like a glass cage, and the curtain comes up, and the lady comes out and does stuff, and then it closes, and you got to put another dollar in to get the next act,
Huh.
And you sell it like chapter by chapter or chunk by chunk, and to get it off the ground, Amazon is giving people what they call free coins. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me on that. So that people can buy your first 3 chapters for free, but you still get paid for that. And then after that, they actually have to pay for them.
What's it called?
Kindle Vella. And they also doing a hardback beta version. Like they've asked me if I want to publish something in hardback, which people aren't even buying the soft cover. So why would I want to do that?
But no, I've had a weird thing with that. Like, I don't think I've sold more than, because on KDP you can go and like look at your sales or something.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I've sold more than like 3 like hard books in a day in months.
Yeah,
but
I go through spurts where I sell like a bunch and then I nothing.
Yeah. But the fucking like ebook reading has been like fucking off the charts. So
that's awesome.
I guess people said fuck hardbacks. I'm gonna read this on my phone.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
I'm good with that because then they can tell their friends about it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's money either way. So like, I'm not like.
Sure.
It's weird.
I was thinking about doing Bleacher Girl as a Kindle Vella book, like selling it chunk by chunk. But I don't know. You have to write in a way that keeps them turning pages.
Yeah.
Which, people review my books. They're like, I couldn't put it down. I had to keep reading. So maybe I could do that. I don't know. I want to get this book done. I'm going to do NaNoWriMo in November. And I want to get Bleacher Girl done. I want to get it edited and out. I'm going to say something that might make my readers cranky. I have to write the Water War 3 because people are waiting on it. But it's too much like real life right now. You know what I mean? It's making it hard. But I'm just going to kick it out. I'm just going to suck it up and get it done because I have outlined a science fiction book. And I don't read science fiction. And that makes people cranky too.
Or what you could do is just like complete cop out, like main character fucking shows up in fucking book 3, like 2 paragraphs in, gets shot in the face and died, and then like 75 blank pages afterwards.
They would come to my house and shoot me. Oh my God. I will write the Water War and I'll do it upright. And then I want to write my sci-fi book that I've all outlined.
Yeah.
And because that's something I really want to write. And then where I go from there, I don't know. I'll probably have other ideas, but yeah, I'm off work till January and I should be writing a lot more, but I've been hiking a lot. Like we've been going like on these 8-mile hikes and
it's good to get out of the house.
Yeah. And I got a new dog and been taking her on long walks and hikes, and I'm going to join an outdoor rifle range. And my youngest son and I are going to go shoot rifles a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm glad the ammo prices are starting to come down.
Yeah.
Fucking finally.
Yeah. And that there's even ammo to find.
Yeah.
I got this new AR-15. I need to go. I've never shot one.
No?
No.
Oh.
I've never had an AR-15. Went shooting like a month ago, and I took my new Henry Big Boy Model X 357 and lever action and put up a steel target I've had since I was a kid and was just pinging the hell out of that thing. That was fun. That Henry's nice, but I've never owned an AR-15, and now I got a Palmetto State Armory AR-15 and a scope, and I'm used to irons. I've never used a scope really.
Yeah, I mean, like once you get used to them, it's fucking kind of like riding a bike. What used to be great about fucking ARs though is like fucking 223 was dirt cheap. Like you can get 500 rounds for $80.
I was looking at AK ammo today, 7.62 by 39.
Yeah,
and you can get AK ammo for 38 cents, 33 cents a round.
Well, that ain't too bad.
That's not too bad for today's prices.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll buy it. My son's like, buy an AK, Mom. I'm like,
yeah, but with my luck though, what would happen is I'd like you know, bite the bullet, just go buy a crate of it, and then like immediately afterwards, like ammo prices would fucking plummet, and then I'd be like, oh god damn it.
I know a guy that you could buy a pallet of ammo. I really do. Send me a DM.
All right. Fucking yeah, no. The other thing though too was like fucking. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. Now it was like 2018, whatever the fuck that was.
When we were free.
Yeah. Malaysia, they got a new service rifle and like a new machine gun, and they were getting rid of all of their 5.56 and 7.62. And like it was like I bought 1,000 rounds of fucking 7.62 for like $300 just because they were dumping it.
Like March of 2020, March 13th of 2020, when the world shut down, this range that I go to sometimes got a hold of me on the phone. And they said, shit is getting crazy. Do you need anything? I'm like what? You know, I'm dumbass me. Like what?
Beef, ammo, like a briefcase full of gold. I don't know.
They're like, give you a 5-gallon bucket of 7.62 by 39 for $85. A 5-gallon bucket of that. How much ammo is that? That's a lot. That's a lot, right? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't have that caliber of rifle. And they're like, do you need one of those? They're like, you need one of those. I'm like,
bring it on over, man. Fuck.
and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't get it, but I should have. And then, like, I went to another range back in March to watch a cowboy shoot. A range I had never been to before. And they gave me the huge tour. It's a huge range, gigantic. And this is the one I'm going to join. And the guy started asking me like a million billion questions, like trying to figure out who I am. Why am I'm at this range, you know, to watch this. And I was dressed like a cowgirl to watch the cowboy shoot. Because that's what you do. You dress up for these things.
Yeah. Make it an event.
He's like, do you reload? And I'm like, I used to all the time. I got the presses still to reload. And I said, but I don't remember how to do it. It's been like 20 years. And he's like, well, you can get in with our crew and reload with us. And I'm like, I'm hearing you can't find brass or primers. He's like, I'll give you, a 5-gallon bucket full of primers. Yeah. He's like, whatever you need.
That sounds like a fucking good range to go shoot at, man.
Yeah. So we're going to join and we're going to start going. And then he's like, I build custom 1911s. And anytime you want to come and watch me build pistols, just come on by. I'm like, this is crazy, you know, but I'm in.
Yeah, fuck it.
So here we go.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that though, we're about at our time.
Yeah.
Shirley, can you tell the people where they can find you?
They can find me on Twitter at Shirley J. Ryder, or they can find me on Amazon. And I don't know. I'm on Instagram at the Pink Fountain Pen is my handle on there. And those who, you know, need to, I don't want everybody to find me.
Find out.
I mentioned on Twitter the other night, I think I'm going to rent a cabin and go hiking. And this guy's like, where are you going?
Why does that matter to you, buddy?
I was like, shit. Yikes. Thanks for having me on, man. Sorry about the technical problem at the beginning.
Yeah, no, that's shit happens. That's you know why we fucking get in a little bit early and figure that stuff out. But thank you very much for coming on, and I look forward to more Twitter shenanigery.
Yes, let's tear it up. All right, Trip, take care.
All right, you too. You have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye.